First story. OP's wife tells him to shut his mouth at a party. Things go downhill from there. My wife and I are at odds lately over her sill, who is married to her brother. Long story short, she bends over backwards to accommodate their every request, including babysitting, errands, etc. This extends to volunteering to help them without my knowledge or consent, etc. She never sees my point of view or agrees with any criticism of them I have. We were at my nephew's birthday party today. My sister-in-law is the one who's hosting it, so my wife is super keen for things to go well. Things were going okay, but my daughter was a bit upset because her balloon animal had accidentally been popped. So she's standing with my wife getting a cuddle, and a boy older than her, 5 or 6, sprints into her and knocks her over. She's crying, obviously, and I pick her up. My wife is making a joke about it, saying, "Oh, she needs to watch where she's going." I said back to her, "Don't blame her for getting bowled over by the bigger boy." Now, apparently the mother of this other kid was in earshot, which prompted my wife to tell me to shut my mouth. Then she had the cheek to tell me to not have a moody face. 15 minutes before this post, I sent an email to a divorce lawyer for a consultation. I've finally reached my limit. Update. Firstly, I'd just like to thank everyone for their responses. Being heard and listened to is such a mental boost. I spoke to my solicitor first thing this morning, and we had a good talk. He knows that I'm angry and upset at the situation, and he says that he will get myself and my wife in for a consultation if we decide to go down that route. The issue in Scotland is that for a divorce where only one party wants out, it can take upwards of a year to get it unless both parties agree to unreasonable behavior as the reason for the courts granting the divorce. Long story short, I can't proceed without her buy-in if I want it resolved quickly. So I took my daughter to my mom's after this, and then I sat my wife down. I told her that yesterday's situation was absolutely unacceptable, and that if I had told her to shut her mouth in front of my friends, I'd be getting crucified by everyone we know. I told her she was lucky I kept my mouth shut at the party, and that I didn't give a F about how Sill would have taken it. We fought again about Sill, and again, she defended her actions, saying that I'm the selfish one who won't help out my family when they need it. I then made the move of dropping divorce leaflets I'd printed from my solicitor's website in front of her. I said to her, I absolutely want to help my family, and this is how I do it. I told her about how I was tired of playing third wheel in my own marriage, and I told her that I was not prepared to subject my daughter to a lifetime of this subservience. Finally, it looks like what I've said has had an impact. She cried, and I think she was close to having a panic attack. This made me feel guilty, because fundamentally, I don't think she's a bad person. She's just brainwashed into thinking Sill is the second coming of the Messiah. So she promised that when I've finished work today, we can have a serious talk about things, and she will listen to my concerns. Right now, I'm not buying it, but I owe her and my daughter at least a chance to sort things out, so I'll see where it goes. To answer some questions folks had, I know this seemed like an overreaction to something, but you've got to understand this was the latest in a long line of Sill-related issues. Some folks have asked if my wife is gay and in love. I have thought about this as a possibility. I didn't ask her yet, but I may tonight. It certainly seems logical, given how passionate she gets about it. Thanks to everyone for reading, and especially to all of you who have DM'd me. I appreciate it more than you know. Update 2. Hi again, everyone. Thanks for all of your continued support and advice. I wanted to put another update on to let you know what was happening. So we sat down last night for the crunch talks. I have to give her credit where it's due. She apologized for what she said at the party, and she said that she'd also have considered divorce if I'd done the same to her. I reiterated to her that my issue is that she completely makes herself subservient to Sill at our expense. I pointed out how messed up it was that she didn't immediately take our daughter's side in this incident. The collision was accidental, but I told her that to blame the little one was out of line, which she accepted. I then asked her outright if she had any sort of romantic feelings for Sill. She squirmed and looked a little uncomfortable. She said that a long time ago, at the end of high school, there had been a drunken kiss on a night out, but nothing beyond that. She sort of played the angle that she didn't want anyone to know about it, and that's why she bends over backwards to make sure Sill is happy. I asked her if Sill had ever threatened to reveal this incident, but she denies that it's even been brought up. She just thinks that if the wider family knew, it'd bring up a lot of weirdness. She swears that she has no interest in having any kind of relationship with Sill, and that she's straight. I told her I didn't care about what she did that long ago, but that it needed to stop impacting our relationship in the present because I am the thinnest of thin hairs away from walking away forever. She surprisingly apologized again and said that she'd really try to work on it. I told her that I needed to see some proof of that so she could consider herself on probation. I told her that if I feel that it's happened again, I'll be taking our daughter to stay at my mom's. She accepted this, so we're proceeding cautiously. Sorry if this isn't the update you were all hoping for, but I think it's the best thing for the three of us right now. Update. My wife spent my birthday out with her friends. I've posted here many times about issues I've had with my wife, most commonly with regards to her subservience to her best friend turned sister-in-law. She's promised to try and work on this, given how much it has impacted our marriage, but today I think we passed the point of no return. You see, today is my birthday. This morning, my daughter gave me huge hugs and kisses, which was great. My wife gave me a card and told me that my gift hadn't arrived in the mail yet. My suspicion is that she's yet to order it or ordered it late. Whatever it may be. I then logged into work and did my shift like any other day. My wife was off work, while my daughter was at my mom's for a visit. Nothing special was planned for the evening because there were already plans in place. Just that those plans didn't include me. Sill and a couple of my wife's other friends had arranged to go out for dinner and drinks because a voucher Sill had for a particular restaurant expired soon. And my birthday was the only date they could all make. SHTTY right. It gets better, though, because my wife made a big social media post wishing me a happy birthday, saying how crap it was that I had to work all night on my birthday. A complete lie. But it does make her look less bad in public for not spending my birthday with me. The issue is, because she's done this, I can't make plans with friends or family without exposing her lie. So, yeah, great birthday. When I think about how she'd react if I had pulled half the SHT she has pulled, I can't see it ending any other way than me getting screamed at, even though she's chosen to spend my birthday with Sill instead of me. On the plus side, I did some Warhammer painting after I collected my daughter, and played with her a bit before bed. She also asked why Mummy wasn't here, which kind of crushed me. Am I wrong to be annoyed about this? Update. I've separated from my wife. Hi again, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you very much for all of your responses and private messages. Many of you were supportive, and many of you told me that I needed to grow some backbone and sort my SHT out. I've been sitting on this for a few days because the full events of what has transpired since then have blown my mind and brought home some very harsh truths about my relationship. But I also wanted to see if what went down would actually stick, and so far it has. The fun first of all, for those who were asking about my painting, I was painting some Thousand Suns Terminators. So starting the day after my birthday, my wife initiated SX, and let me tell you, this was an occasion in itself. I legitimately could not tell you the last time that this happened. It's been that long. I'm thinking to myself, maybe she's feeling guilty about yesterday and she's trying to make it up. After the deed was done, she turned around to me and said, "Your present won't be here for another couple of days. That will have to do for now." I'm pretty disappointed at this point, not because I had a huge desire for a particular gift, but because she felt that her behavior the day before was fine. And then for her to think, I'll use SX to cover up my F-up, was also a bit of a blow. Whatever, I've sucked up worse before and powered through. What broke me was her opinion on Sill's birthday. Long story short, for those who don't know, Sill is possibly my least favorite person on the planet due to her parasitic behavior and main character syndrome. Coincidentally, it's a couple of weeks after mine. My wife told me all about her birthday plans for her. She wanted to give her a gift for her favorite massage therapist. What was the big deal? The shop only sells paper vouchers, and it's a 3-hour round trip to the shop. So off she went, again leaving me with my daughter, and what commenced next can only be described as 3 hours of my brain simmering slowly towards an explosion. I took my daughter to my brother's house because I knew that when my wife came back, I was going to explode. When she came back, I was sitting in the living room with a bag packed for me and one packed for my daughter. This immediately got her attention, and she demanded to know what was going on. I unloaded it all. It wasn't coherent, and I definitely got more emotional as I unloaded more grievances. I started by telling her it was unacceptable how she completely screwed up my birthday while making Sill's birthday a major priority. I was sick of feeling like a third wheel in my own marriage. How I had literally sacrificed my personality on the altar of keeping her happy, and how I never saw my friends anymore, yet she could do whatever she wanted. How I take care of the house despite working more hours than her for not even a shred of gratitude. How she used SX as a tool of manipulation and control. I cried and shouted, and she did the same and vehemently denied all of my accusations. She demanded to know where our girl was, and I told her. I told her that she would not be using her as a bargaining chip against me. We eventually calmed down enough to agree that I would keep her at our house while she temporarily stayed with her mom and dad. I agreed to drop her off for visits while we worked things out. It's been a few emotionally exhausting days. I feel drained, spent, and tired. But I have my little girl, and I feel like I have done what I could. I don't know what my relationship status is right now. We haven't been speaking except to arrange drop-offs, and I'm comfortable with that for now. I need some more time before I consider taking more permanent steps. I've never ever unloaded on her like this before, but Jesus Christ, it felt good, even if she continued to deny everything. Second story. My girlfriend can't keep her finances and acts totally childish, and I think I am enabling her. What should I do? Okay, so this started a major fight between me and my girlfriend. So my girlfriend and I have lived together for 4 years and been together for 6 years. At 20, I was lucky to be making quite a bit of money, so I bought myself a new Jeep Wrangler as a second car to have fun with. My other car was a birthday present from my parents when I turned 18. My girlfriend's car was totaled right after we moved in together, so I let her use whichever of my cars I wasn't and put her on my insurance. She never ended up buying another car because she couldn't save money, and has gotten comfortable in my new fancy cars compared to her Ford Camry. Now we get to the problem. She crashed both of them in a month. My Jeep just needed $4,500 of body work, but my Subaru was a total loss. She was 100% fine, no injuries whatsoever. Both of them were at fault. The Jeep she pulled out of a parking space was too tight and scraped every panel from front to back, destroying the other car. In the Subaru she was texting and driving. She hit a parked car at 25 miles per hour in our neighborhood. Now I get that accidents happen, but she took no responsibility for either accident. The Jeep is somewhat understandable, but to be texting and driving and not take responsibility made me upset. So I told her it was fine, but that I would be taking the insurance money for the Subaru and selling my Jeep after it was fixed and buying myself a new car. And that $5,000 of it would go to her to either buy a cheap used car or use as a down payment on something nicer. She said okay and nothing else, really. The next Saturday, when the Jeep was fixed, I did exactly what I said I was going to and bought myself a tricked-out Volvo XC40. My girlfriend was working and came home and went ballistic, saying she couldn't believe I didn't get her a car too and wasted it buying such a nice car for myself. I told her that with a $5,000 down payment, you can pretty much buy exactly what we had before, maybe a bit newer. But she was mad because she will have monthly payments and won't be able to afford everything for her skincare routine or be able to save to buy Christmas presents. The bit about presents for her family really made me feel like an arse. I did offer to help with and explained that I just wanted her to have an asset in her name. If we ever broke up, you would need your own car, and that set her off again about whether I see my life with her or not. She is staying at her mom's house currently. Don't talk to me. AITA. IDA. Yes, we live in the US. I am not originally from the US, but I'm a dual citizen. Relevant comments. Valhalla at your GRL. So she wrecked not one but 2 cars that were not hers and feels zero remorse for it. And she expects you to not only help her get a car but straight up pay for one so that she can go about spending her money on whatever frivolous materialistic things she wants. Your offer to give her money for a down payment on a new car is more than what she deserves in this situation. She's an adult who should be capable of doing adult things. Also, her trying to guilt trip you by saying she won't have money for Christmas gifts is a piss-poor excuse for not wanting to pay for something. NTA. The fact that she's 24 and acting like this is truly perplexing. OOP. Yeah, I have never seen this side of her. Also, she has never been this close to her mom her whole life, and personally, I think her mom is influencing her decisions. OOP again. Technically, if we are counting not at fault party cars, then it's 9. She wrecked her car by sliding out on ice at 50 mph and hitting 3 parked cars. Then my Jeep did significant body damage to it and totaled the older car. Then the Subaru she totaled hitting a parked car while texting and driving, and the car she hit struck the car in front, but most likely not a total loss. OOP on if he's being used and his girlfriend's immaturity. Yeah, I am definitely learning that. My sister thinks she is just pushing back so hard because she knows she won't be able to get insurance and possibly might not qualify for an auto loan. Before we moved in together, she got an eviction. Not her fault, roommate went crazy and it destroyed her credit. She has had a lease agreement with me for 3.5 years to help build it up, but it occurs to me that I hadn't actually checked in a year what her credit score is up to. I wish she would at least answer the damn phone. Update. Well, it's been almost 2 months since I posted, and also about 2 months since we broke up. I appreciate everyone who didn't just call me an enabler. So she was the one to break up with me. Her reasoning for wanting to break up is that she no longer saw me as a romantic partner, but rather as a boss, landlord, or parent. It definitely hurt since, even through everything, I still loved her. She moved out the last of her things from my storage on Saturday and brought her new boyfriend with her. Not to be judgmental, but he looks homeless, to be honest, so that was kind of funny. I did end up giving her the $5,000 I promised her, and well, there was no other way to say it. That was probably a mistake. Instead of buying a car, it looks like she bought her mom and her a trip to Mexico. She posted it on her Instagram, and I know she didn't have that kind of money. And her mom most certainly didn't buy it. I honestly don't know if she has a car, if she is driving her new boyfriend's car, if she is driving her mom's car, or if she decided to just use transit and Uber. As for me, I still love my little Volvo. My best friend going back to middle school ended up moving into my condo now that it's just me. And I got a really lucrative new contract at work. I haven't bothered looking for anything romantically since the breakup and have been working on myself and trying to identify what qualities I really want in my future partner. So yeah. Sorry to everyone who was hoping for some bigger drama. Relevant comments. No fee 161. I'm going to call you an enabler again because you stupidly gave her $5,000. I hope you grow from this experience, but please know that was stupid. OOP. Honoring my word is important to me. Maybe to a fault. But you know what? I'll take that over being thought of as a liar or a flake. Half-burned skunk. Cut it out. It makes no sense to give her $5,000 after she totaled one car and caused $4,500 of damage to your Jeep. If this is real, do not let her crawl back into your life. She can eat a bag of D. OOP. Yeah, I would not let her back into my life. I realize now that it was a one-sided relationship. For trips, Christmas, her birthday, and such, I constantly had to pack up last year or she would be upset. I am learning a lot from my therapist about self-worth. All in all, I am glad I kept my word and gave her the money. Thank you for watching the video.